think to start with, Ishak, 2014, what's the big trade next year?
In terms of what we think for 2014, I think we're going to continue seeing a bit more of a respite for equities, further gains across the board, driven by the improvement in the global economy, particularly the US. And I think in general the tone would be one of more central bank activism from central banks across the globe as the Fed steps out, a bit more from the ECB, more pressure on them, and also from the Bank of Japan.
What about the resilience of the euro? How surprised have you been by that, and will that continue?
Massively. I mean, it's at 138. It's a bit baffling. I think a lot of people think so as well. I think it's mostly due to the repatriation of funds by Eurozone banks before the asset quality review. I don't think that's going to hold up. I think as we go into 2014 with the pressure on the ECB to stimulate the Eurozone economy, perhaps for the ECB to consider tools such as negative deposit rates and also another LTRO, I think we're going to see a bit more downside for the euro to come.
We had that very successful Italian auction yesterday. Does that bode well for 2014?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's good news out of the periphery to see the likes of Italy and Spain putting out decent results with their bond and bills auctions going out without a hitch. It does obviously mean that that demand for paper is now back on board, and people are generally a bit more optimistic about the peripheral Eurozone economy and the overall outlook for the Eurozone. I think it's one with great political instability on board in 2014, and I don't think that's going to go away anytime soon. I think the Eurozone could be flirting with a recession if we see Germany continue to hold a discord with the rest of the Eurozone members in terms of policies.
When do you think that's going to happen? When could that start? When will we know?
Yeah, I think it's going to. The big test is going to be in a couple of months' time from now, when we're going to have a bit more from the leaders in Brussels when it comes to further regulations and reforms, particularly around the Eurozone banking system. And we've seen Germany hold their ground, and that's obviously suggested that there is still a continuing discord across the Eurozone. I think that could be one big story for 2014.
Let's get a quick word on gold. I mean, it's had an awful year. Are we going to see a respite for gold next year?
To a degree, yes. I think maybe in the next 6 months or so we should see a bit of respite for gold prices. Right now, I mean, I reckon that we could possibly see a dip below 1,000, but after that we should see a resumption to the upside, and that's mostly on the back of improving conditions in China, a bit more from the Indian Central Bank to stimulate the economy. That should boost demand for gold prices, and at the same time, in general, I think when it comes to what investors will be hunting, there'll be a point where equities might get a bit exhausted.